Hey, and welcome back to St. Mary of the Woods. Austin Petrillo joins us. St. Mary of the Woods has sprint football, and sprint football maximum is 190 pounds that you can play with, and that's actually changed. But Austin is not only an all-conference in the Midwest Sprint Football League, an all-conference player, but this year was named a Sprint Football All-American. And congratulations. That would be the first time anybody from St. Mary of the Woods has been listed on that as an All-American?
Yeah, this year was the first time they introduced that, doing the awards with the MSFL and the CSFL. So we definitely had other guys make the team, though, so I wouldn't say I'm the first, but it's an honor, and I'm humbled to make it on that list.
Well, I know that the season right at the championship level, you've been at a championship level through your entire career here. What did that feel like coming into a program that's really been able to establish itself and be one of the premier teams in the Midwestern League?
Yeah, it was new to everybody, right, that got here, so everybody really had to make that adjustment just like I did. So it really took a combination of everybody buying in. And when I say when I got here, I've never felt the level of confidence across the entire program, knowing like what our abilities were and what we had to do in order to win. And it was just 100 miles on the gas pedal as soon as I got here. So it was definitely fun, and I learned a lot from it. I mean, naturally being a part of a program that wins, you know what I'm saying, and does make it to the championship 3 years in a row. You know, there's going to be some things you look and reflect on and be like, well, we did this and that helped us get there. And so I'm really happy my journey brought me to where I am.
And let's talk a little bit about your journey. You know, you grew up in, and I'm going to say went to school at Park Heritage, a small school in Indiana. I know you took a detour, went to Franklin for a year, but that transfer to St. Mary of the Woods, how did that all come about?
Oh, dude, it's so random. So I did take my freshman year over at Franklin College. Unfortunately, I didn't continue my athletic or academic career there. I took a gap year. Went down to Puerto Rico. I got tired of the cold, so I had to go somewhere warm for a little bit. I took a gap year and did work down there. And I came back to the U.S. Oh, well, it's already the U.S. down there, but came back ready to finish school, not necessarily was looking to play ball. Randomly, I was on campus one day before I was a student. Shout out to Professor O'Brien. I was here with her that day. She was just showing some stuff around. She needed some help moving some stuff out of her office, actually. And then I just ran into Coach Powell. And he was my all-star coach out of high school in the all-star game, so we was already familiar with each other. We had a little conversation, and then it pretty much ended with, if you come here and play football, we'll help you pay for school. I didn't need anything more than that. You know, opportunity to play ball again and help get school paid for, I couldn't turn it down.
So position-wise, you're a defensive guy, but you also return punts, and you played safety. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what's some of the things that you can tell us about your experience in just playing the game of football, playing that safety position here at St. Mary of the Woods?
Yeah, and it felt like a full circle moment to me. Early in my career when I was in Southern California, went to a bigger school, so I really honed in more on one or two positions because the team's larger, not many players are playing both ways, so I really played corner and safety primarily when in my career. Then I moved out to Indiana. I go to a smaller school, so then all through high school, I mean, I played a little bit of everything. I played offense, I played defense, outside linebacker, corner, safety. And then getting out of high school, I was actually more of an offensive player, and I feel like that was more known as in high school anyway. I did have more production on the offensive side of the ball. So then went to Franklin as a receiver, and almost like Richard Sherman says, he was a college receiver. When I ended up coming here, they needed more assistance on defense, I guess. They felt like that was the best position for me. And I felt like the culmination of all the offensive experience and success I had was able to help my defensive knowledge and understand route concepts and where receivers are really trying to get to. So when they said they were thinking about putting me at safety, I'm like, well, this is what I used to do, like way back in the day. So I was ready for it, and it was really, really fun.
Tell me about what you think, Coach Powell and the program here. How different is it than some of the other places you've been, and what kind of relationships have you built here at St. Mary the Woods?
Man, I'll be the first one to tell you, shout out to Coach Powell and the entire coaching staff, because as we talked about before, they came into something completely new, sprint football. You know, had a lot of questions. They came in, they actually was the second coach that they got. They got a first coach who ended up leaving over halfway through the initial recruiting process. So Coach Powell only had probably about 2 months to get a team together and play a whole football season. So they were able to get that together. We got teammates from all over the place, Vegas, you know, Georgia, Vermont, Washington, Texas. So they were able to find a lot of quality guys from all over the place. Hawaii, we had kids from Hawaii, and put together a championship level team like that. And not only that, but we've improved every year as well. Just both, you know, on the field, I would feel but, you know, in the classroom, just overall operations and, you know, team attitude. When I first got here, the football team did not have a good reputation due to many other things, but that has changed over the past couple of years. We got dudes who's involved in school, multiple guys in student senate, presidential corps, doing great things on campus. And it's all a testament to, you know, the top of the food chain, Coach Powell. He got that shit, he got it started. So just kudos to him. They welcomed me with open arms, like I said, and giving me the ability to do
So what are some of the things you've been involved with here on campus? As you said, I know you've been involved in a couple of these. You talked about meeting some other people on campus, but what are the organizations and the different leadership positions you've been able to establish here on campus?
I try to be involved. I like to be proud of where I'm from, so I got into student senate when I first got here. That's like, you know, politics for students almost. Working with the board of trustees and stuff like that. I really haven't joined many clubs, but I go to all the events as I can, just to, you know, be active in the community. I mean, I got a lot of guys on the team who I try to get them more active. You know, a lot of the guys aren't from here. They're a little bit more nervous and typical. So I just do my best to leave a positive impact wherever I'm at. So.
Well, speaking of that positive impact, what are you going to do when I look at the things I know? Give me your degree, the kind of things that you're planning on doing with your whole life. What's it look like for you?
Oh man, whole life, that's a big picture. I mean, when you look at the whole thing, I just want to leave the places I've been in the world a better place than like when it was when I leave. But I've recently just sat down and committed to coaching. I tapped into like sport broadcasting for a little bit and explored a different couple areas, but I think my passion is coaching, and so I'm gonna pursue that. Once I get done, I'm in sport management as a degree right now with a business focus. Should be graduating in May. So as long as I keep my head on straight, and if I don't, you know, grandma's gonna kick me in line. So, you know, and, you know, just keep worrying about the big F's, family, faith, football. You know, as long as I do my best, everything's going to take care of itself, and that's what I trust. So.
Well, we're going to wish you the best of luck in all the things you're doing. And again, Austin Petrillo, the Sprint Football All-American here, defensive back at St. Mary the Woods. And again, St. Mary the Woods having one of the best programs in the country in sprint football. And we want continued success here at St. Mary the Woods and continued success for you, Austin. Congratulations, and thanks for joining us here at halftime. And with that, we'll pause for a break here on our halftime show, and we'll be back with the start of the second half. You're watching Indiana Sports Network.
There was a time when your local pharmacy defined your community. Before the days of long lines and drive-through national chains, pharmacists gave your health personal attention, and you always met with a familiar face. Back then, your questions were always answered, even when you forgot to ask. In Brazil, Indiana, that friendly local pharmacy has always been Lynn's Pharmacy since 1872. We are a modern pharmacy with the latest technology, still deliver that old-fashioned, friendly personal service today. Experience the tradition with your family at Lynn's Pharmacy in downtown Brazil.
We were choosing colors for the house, and and I stopped and looked at Mike and said, "We're really doing this, aren't we?" The process was challenging, but Riddell was there for us every step of the way. The mortgage, closing, they eased our stress. It made sense when Mike said,
"We're really doing this."
Mortgage loans made easy from Riddell. Making friends since 1885.
Sports the way they are meant to be. Live, up close, and personal on Indiana Sports Network.
Oh, man, no. Keep him here. Let him come about the half. Come about the first half.
Well, again, I've got Austin Petrillo with me. Tell me what you think first half-wise. What's going on here?
Well, I was never really too good at basketball, but I do love the sport. I do love watching. I've seen these guys play a lot of basketball, and right now I would say they're not hitting a lot of shots. Just not seeing a whole lot go down, and Kokomo is being very efficient with their shot selection. They're not taking bad shots. They're moving the ball around, and they've been finding open guys and just making good decisions. I haven't seen too many turnovers. I honestly think we're playing decent defensively, like enough to win the game. We got to see some more go through the hoop for sure.
Well, and, shooting takes care of a multitude of sins. And when I say that, if you're shooting the ball well, you're probably going to win anyhow. Yeah. And defense kind of takes that away. And right now, St. Mary the Woods has had trouble with outside shooting. They've done decent when they've gotten the ball inside. And also, the officials both ways have allowed both these teams just beat on each other.
Yep. Absolutely, and I think it's going to take – we got somebody out big for St. Mary's and Greg, I think Johnson. So we've seen Caleb come off the bench a little bit and give us some life. He's gotten some offensive rebounds, got a couple buckets in the first half. We're probably going to have to see more out of somebody else off the bench or more from Caleb, just maybe someone untraditional like the Greg Jenkins or the Shawns. That's going to have to make a mark in the second half to give them a chance to win this game.
Again, hey, man, you can do this too. You're doing all
I
right.
love to talk. My grandma said I got a big mouth. I just got to use it the right way,
I know. That's kind of how it is. At least if you have a prettier face than I do. My wife says I have that face for radio. Radio face. You've got the one everybody's going to like you. Again, Austin Petrillo, thanks for joining us here.